I'm now joined by Jill Duggan from the Department of Energy and Climate Change from the UK. Now tell me a little bit about your work for the Department of Energy and Climate Change in the UK.
Okay, well, you may know that the Department of Energy and Climate Change was formed about a year ago from the Climate Change Division of DEFRA, Department of Energy, Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, and the Business Department that took the energy portfolio. And by bringing those two together, I think it's enabled the Secretary of State, Ed Miliband, to actually be bolder in a lot of policies by bringing those two very logical parts of government policy together. I've worked first in DEFRA and then in DEC on carbon markets and climate change policy since 2003, actually, which feels like a long time now. Most of that time on carbon markets, the UK had a voluntary emissions trading system which I managed and hopefully improved. I was responsible for developing the software, this is also very exciting, the software for emissions trading in Europe for the UK and 16 other states. And then I was the UK government lead on our policy for the 2008-2012 phase of the EU ETS. And then for the last 3 years I've been flying around the world, increasing my carbon footprint, but in particular coming to the US, to talk with California and others about the lessons that we've learnt in the UK and Europe, the things that we wish we'd known when we'd started, things that we've learnt along the way, to try and help them learn those lessons without actually having to go through the painful processes that we sometimes have in Europe. And so I think, we have learned a lot of lessons, but I think the lesson that we've learned most clearly is that actually emissions trading, cap and trade works. It works in a way that doesn't cripple business, that does provide an incentive. They found that 65% of the participants in the EU emissions trading system, which covers 12,000 facilities in Europe, 65% take the future cost of carbon into account in making decisions about their future investments. And I think that shows that it really, really can work to change behaviour. They've also been studies that have shown that it hasn't led to job losses. In fact, what we found in climate change policy in the UK is that companies that reduce their emissions also reduce their fuel use, become more efficient and save money generally. Now, clearly there are differences from company to company, but the strong message is that sort of lean, mean companies that are going to do well in a low carbon economy are the ones that are at the forefront of thinking about how they adapt and change and shift their business plans to be part of that low carbon economy, rather than saying this is too difficult, it's too expensive and we can't do it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming to the summit and sharing your knowledge. It sounds like it's a good forum to be able to do that and impart your knowledge, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jill.